And here we are, another Friday night. So good to see you, DM Demod. Thank you so much for being here. Uh, I know it's hard for you to get on during the day, and I missed you today at 3 p.m., but I'll tell you, and I always miss you on Sunday mornings. But DM, I'm always happy when you're here. You're just a blessing to all of us. You're such a good mod and a good friend. Flight and Defend, I want to say hey to you, brother. Thank you for being here. And there's a couple other people. I saw Linda Horner in here earlier. We've got four. We'll slowly gather a few people in here, and then we'll get busy with what I got to bring tonight. But while we're waiting around, I just want to gather people in and talk to people who might see this on the replay. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I ask everyone to leave comments, hit the like button, and on your way in or your way out, it doesn't matter. But hit the bell icon. If you like what I do, then hit the bell icon so you'll know when I'm going live. We're going to get into that in a minute, what I do. We're just trying to spend a minute and gather a little time. And that way we'll see if we can get just a couple more people in here before I start. Because once I start on this, anybody comes in on it, they're not really going to know what I'm talking about. And so it's a deep subject, but it's not that deep. And I've got some accolades to put out. And this is a Friday night, but I see more people in the chat than what I see in the numbers. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to ask you again to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Comment, like, hit the bell icon. My PayPal will be somewhere in the chat. If you'd like to donate to my channel to help me grow, it'd be greatly appreciated. When I started this thing a year ago, I didn't realize it was going to run into more expense than I was really ready to pay. But we're getting it done, and we're keeping it going, and we're going to keep it going. And on Sundays at 11 a.m., I have a Bible study on Deplorable Bobby channel at 11 a.m. I do a verse by verse, chapter by chapter study, and it's just what I understand and from the scripture and how I understand it. And you can come and listen, and if nothing else, it's a history lesson, but maybe you'll get some good out of it. And then Sundays at 8 p.m. with Dangerous Freedom, Dangerous Deplorables. We come on at 8 p.m. We do pretty good. We have a good show. We banter back and forth. And we come on right after Disabled Best Perspective, who comes on at 7 p.m. I want to make sure I give all these shout outs to these people. I can't remember who comes on Wednesday nights at 9, but at Wednesday at 8 p.m., we're going to have a special edition of the Dangerous Deplorables, and we're going to have Tactical Technician with us. He couldn't make it Sunday night, so we're going to get together again on Wednesday, and we're going to have Tactical Technician with us. Fridays at 3 p.m., Dangerous Deplorables. We come on after Pete. He goes on at 2. We come on at 3. And then Friday nights, we're followed by American Joe. I know that much. And the Dangerous Deplorable channel, we started a channel called Dangerous Deplorables. And I think we're at 39 or 40 subscribers. If we hit 100 subscribers on that channel, Dangerous Deplorables, then we're going to start making our Dangerous Deplorable videos over there as well. So go to that channel, subscribe, help us get to 100, and we'll start posting live streams over there as well. So with that, I'm going to thank the 10 people that are in here, because 10 is my magic number. And when I reach 10 people, I'm ready to get started. And to be honest with you, if I only had 2 people, I would still get started. But I want to thank you 10 for being here. Pete the Patriot, and DM the Mod, and I Bleed American, Colleen O'Sullivan, It seems like I see more people in the chat than I see up there in the numbers, but that doesn't really matter. It never matters. When you do these YouTube things, what matters is that you're passionate about what you do, and you do your research, and you try to bring something that's entertaining to somebody. Hello, Grandma Moses. Michael Keevan, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. But I'm going to talk tonight about some things that mean a lot to me. And I'm just going to be very honest with you. My brother, Dangerous Freedom, who has joined me in the Dangerous Deplorable adventure, I want y'all to know that he is a dear and true, sincere friend of mine. And I consider him probably the best friend that I've ever had. I've never met him, but we talk for hours. Believe me, before we do these live streams, we've talked. And I love it because we butt heads. He thinks one way on some things, I think the other. And we do all the button heads behind the scenes, which is a lot of fun, believe it or not. I love button heads with him. He's always got an answer. I may not like it, but he's always got an answer. But we always meet somewhere in the middle because we're brothers and we actually care about each other and each other's families. So I just wanted to give him that big shout out because he deserves it more than anybody. He's been a great supporter of mine, and he has helped me. And he's here tonight. If I run out of material, he's going to be backstage and willing to come in and help me fill the last few minutes. But we're going to get started. And I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you to know, how do you know when you're dealing with evil? I mean, how do you really know? What do you look for? Is there something that these people do, the way they act, maybe their hand gestures or the way they carry themselves or the things they say, or maybe it's how they say it? But we have to understand a few things. Evil people are passive-aggressive people who are negative by nature, and they're indirectly hostile to everybody. And they are envious. They actually turn green with envy if another person achieves something. So you see, we're talking about people that you see every day in your workplace. And as we're going to go through this, you're going to see that, man, these people, I'm working with these people. I know these people. And you have to be aware to stay away from these people. They're manipulative, and they don't care about any repercussions for anything they do. Any action that they want to do is just fine with them. Evil is manipulative, and people will persuade a lie and do anything just to get their way. They may always believe that they're right, no matter who or what they're talking about. Ever met people like that? Have you ever met people who it just seemed like no matter what you were talking about, they knew everything about it? Even though they'd never been around it, they still knew everything about it. And that's what happens. And I'm not trying to paint a terrible hellfire picture of evil. I'm trying to tell you the kind of evil that you see every day and you don't even recognize it as evil. So there are a lot of evil people here, and we need to be aware of who they are by how they act. Sometimes these demons are mean to animals, and who could do that? I never could. And they do horrific things to them. This activity brings them happiness because it makes them feel powerful. See, and this is what we're talking about, power. Remember when the Bible said that we fight against powers and principalities in the air? That's what we're fighting right here. They always believe they're right. They're arrogant, and they consider their own opinions to be fact above everybody else. Have you ever met people like that? They have to always be right and they always have an opinion. I'm not saying that all these people are mean to animals. I'm not going to categorize them like that. But I will tell you that according to research, that is one of the things that evil people do. I'm not even going to go into the child abuse and the child sex trade and slavery and all that. These people get joy in other people's failures and misfortunes. They'll sabotage you and your good efforts any way they can. And the whole time they're doing it, they're going to act like they're your friend. Oh, but I'm your friend. But the whole time they're going behind your back and they're sabotaging you to other people. See, this is how evil people act. They're compulsive liars. Do you know any liars? Do you know anybody at your work or anywhere else that just seems to lie all the time? Like they can't say anything without lying? Or do you have somebody in your family that way? They're always self-promoting, even at the expense of their so-called friends and family. So they always have to have the upper hand. They have to always be the ones that are spoken of and spoken to. And I know that's a terrible way to look at this, but people, we have people like this, and you know, and they're blameless. They don't think anything's their fault. They'll mislead you every chance they get, and they'll love giving their advice and pretend that they're genuine when in reality they are setting you up for failure. I've met so many people like this in my life. They're highly egotistical and they talk about themselves at every opportunity, and they're self-promoting. They're also narcissistic and they have a dark need to feed their egos. See, they have to keep their egos built. So they have to always promote themselves. They have to always be the one. You know, it always has to be one in every crowd. Well, these people have to be the one because they have to be seen and heard, even if they're talking utter nonsense. I mean, how do you think Obama got elected? I mean, come on, this guy talked utter nonsense and he got elected twice to the White House. What kind of failure was that? And while we're talking about failure and we're talking about evil, we might as well just carry on with Obama for a few minutes because I got a bone to pick with him as well as I do Hillary Rotten Clinton. I'm going to tell you, we're talking about today. We're looking at a World War III. I'll tell you what, go to Twitter, you go to Facebook, you go to YouTube, you go to Google, anywhere you go, everything that pops up is all about Iran. What is Iran going to do? And you know as well as I do that Iran is going to do something. Iran is not going to sit by. They're not going to say, well, wow, you just killed our best general. Come on, people, what'd you do that for? You know, and while you were at it, you killed 6 members of a militia group of elites. So, okay, so we killed some leaders of the militia and we killed your general. So now what are you going to do? See, we didn't even have to say that because they already are thinking that. What are we going to do? What are they going to do? Nobody knows, and that's why everybody's trying to come up with something in their mind with a scenario that will work. But you see, there's not a scenario that will work, except the one scenario that the Iranians are going to play out. We've already made our move. We made our move on Soleimani, and we took him out, and we took out some of his underlings. So here we are. Let's go back a few years. back when Obama was president and Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. Let's go back and look at Gaddafi. Let's go back and look at how Gaddafi was taken out for his gold, his money. That's why they took Gaddafi out. And what did Hillary say? Hillary Rotten Clinton said, "We came, we saw, and we killed him." Her exact words, I quote. So you see, now we've took out this general. This general was not the leader of Iran. It wasn't like Gaddafi, who was king pretty much over there. He was the leader of Libya. They took him out, nothing said. Nothing said. So here we are now, and we take out a general and some underlings. So now, all of a sudden, we're the bad guy. Now, wait a minute. If that had been Obama and Hillary doing that, we wouldn't be the bad guys. So what's the difference? The difference is that we have Donald Trump as president. And this man's going to have to do something. I don't know what it's going to be. But I promise you this. Iran is not going to go away. Iran is going to make a move. I don't know how, where, when, or why, but they're going to make a move. And it's probably going to be against Israel and maybe Saudi Arabia or any other ally of the United States. I don't think they will actually attack us. They may attack our allies, and they may even try to hit, some people, some of our soldiers that we have over there in Iraq. But see, the thing about it is, I honestly believe that they have a nuke weapon. I think they have a way of delivering it. Why else would the Ayatollah say, we can kill your whole fleet with one missile? Well, Lord, that'd take a nuclear weapon to kill that many ships. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Do they or do they not have the nuclear weapon? We don't know. I say they do. And they're not going to sit by and let this general's death go unheard of. Something is going to happen. I don't know what it is. That's the big thing. Nobody knows what it is because they have yet to do anything. You know, they're either planning or they're preparing, one of the two, or maybe both. Maybe they're planning and preparing, because this could get really nasty, really ugly, really quick. And I'm not a big Israel fan. I mean, I believe in the Judeo-Christian belief, and I support Jews. I mean, I do, but I don't always support their government, just like I don't always support our government, like when Obama was in there. So, but I can love the Jewish people and not love their government at the same time. But we have to remember that we can't allow ourselves to be sucked into that kind of situation. And what's going to happen, it could be anything from Iran saying, okay, we're going to show our hand. We're going to throw what we've got at somebody. I don't know who it might be, but they're going to throw it at somebody, be it Israel or another ally of America, or even try to take out some Americans on the ground. So that's what we're looking at. On the other hand, they have a nuclear weapon. Israel says, no, you're not going to shoot on us. So they preempt. Israel has said that they will do a preemptive attack on Iran if they think that an attack is imminent. Now, I don't know who's doing the thinking about the attack being imminent, but if I thought somebody was fixing to shoot on me, yeah, I guess I would go ahead and shoot on them. But we know for a fact that Israel has nukes. So even if Iran doesn't, and they threaten Israel, and Israel retaliates in any way, it's going to be nuclear. We're not going to have boots on the ground like we did in World War II and Vietnam and World War I. all the way back to the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812 and French and Indian War. We all fought on American soil, but we have never fought on American soil since the 1800s. Let's hope and pray we never have to. Let's hope and pray that whatever happens is quick. I'm really expecting, to be honest with you, I'm expecting the worst, but I'm really hoping for the best, because now tensions are at the point of boiling over, and Iran has to react. There's no way they cannot react. If they don't react, they're weak. They're of no consequence. They don't mean what they say. Their people are right. They can't govern. They're inept, and they're idiots, and they're not going to allow that to happen. They're not going to allow themselves to be pulled down. And I'm going to tell you, everything I'm talking about this tonight pertains to these Iranian officials, the Ayatollahs and the generals and all of the guard and everybody in the military. That's what they believe. But we have people actually in the city streets that are not burning American flags like they show you they are. These people always talk about themselves. And at every opportunity, they are self-promoting, as I said a minute ago. But what really kills me is only their time is important. If no matter what your schedule is, what their schedule is more important. And how irritating is that? This is just another way for these evil people to irritate us, to get under our skin. They need to be in control of every situation. You ever seen people like that? No matter what it is, no matter what happens, somebody's got to step up and take charge. Oh, I've got a niece like that. I mean, she's one of these, honest to goodness. I think she goes places looking for people choking or something like that, because she's always first on the scene. And, if she knew what she was doing, it might be different. But she's always there to save somebody or a child, or sometimes I wonder if she doesn't stage these things. But anyway, yeah, she's sort of a weirdo. But yeah, I got a lot of weirdos in my family. I guess that's where I come from. But that it doesn't matter what they think or what they say or what they do. If we don't agree with them, well, then they're going to turn on us. Evil people never accept blame for anything and are more than happy to blame you or someone else. These evil people are highly skilled at placing blame and placing themselves as the victim. So they're really good at placing blame on you and then playing the victim. They like to turn the tables on you. Evil people never are your friend, not in reality. You're being played. You're being played like a lamb led to slaughter, or maybe like a fiddle, because you're just following somebody and you don't even know where you're going. Evil people are full of hatred, and they tend to be racist and bigots. Oh, that's the Republican Party, isn't it? And President Trump. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Evil people are full of hatred and tend to be racist and bigots who think of themselves as high and mighty. No, I don't think that American patriots feel that way about themselves, even though we are called racist and we are called bigots and misogynists and everything else, because we are conservative Americans. I said all that to say this, and this is all about the Demon Rat Party. The Demon Rat Party is an evil institution at its very best. Not only do the demons favor, get this, people, these demons are for infanticide. Imagine that. But they're also full-blown socialists at the same time. I don't know how you can be both. But we know from history that socialism has killed over Get this, 100 million people just in the 20th century. 100 million people have died under socialism. You know, the demon rat legislation equates to mass infanticide when it comes to our preborns. All they want to do is preach abortion. That's all they think about. They think about the money they can make, through their affiliates with Planned Parenthood. I'm not going to go into that, but that's the truth. It's wrong what they do to our preborn children. And I don't believe for a minute that a decent person can be a Democrat. How in the world can a decent person be a Democrat? How? We need to keep the Dems out of power no matter what. But we need to know who they are so we can keep them out of power. Because I'll tell you, we do have rhinos. We do have wolves in sheep's clothing among us. And we have to be able to weed them out, just like we do the evil in the demon rat party and those who we know to be evil because their actions show it. We need to keep the Democrats out of power for as long as we possibly can. That's our only hope. I don't know what's going to happen in Iran or with Iran and Israel and us and the world. I mean, I really don't know. It is a powder keg that's fixing to explode, and we're just going to have to wait and see. It could be an attack from within. We have many sleeper cells here in America. So it's, we never know. Is it going to be from within, from a sleeper cell like 9/11? Or is it going to be something else? Is it going to be another country or maybe our men, in the Middle East, or maybe Saudi Arabia and other countries? So we just have to see what happens, because something is going to happen. They have to retaliate. But for someone or something to be evil, it has to be profoundly immoral and malevolent. And that's what the Iranians are. They're immoral to their core, but yet they're malevolent. They think that they rule. They think that they really, really control the earth, that they control America. They control every country because they instill fear by threats. Well, we've yet to see anything, but maybe they did get a drone from us a while back. But someone or something to be this evil, it can only be malevolent. You got to remember that. They have to think that they are that much above you. They are your masters, and that's the way they think. This means that the evil demons are willing to do wrong. They'll cheat. They'll defraud you. They'll bear false witness. They'll plot and play. They'll threaten. They'll render harm. And they'll do unto others like you and me these kind of things. And that's what evil people do. They're not going to do these things to other people like themselves. They're going to do this to people like you and me who try to live decent and have a decent life. But the demon rats prefer socialism over capitalism, on which America was based. We are based on capitalism in this country through federalism, and we are a republic. We are not a democracy. Don't ever let anyone tell you that we're a democracy. These demons don't care about the Constitution and believe we aren't smart enough to handle our own affairs. Hence, by lies and cheating, defraud, assassination of character, and much more to achieve their evil goals, funded by the people like George Soros, who we all know is truly evil. Dems don't deserve or observe the rule of law. They believe that the end justifies the means to include immoral behavior, which is their green light to be more and more belligerent. And that's what they are. Look at Adam Schiff. Look at Pelosi. Look at Schumer. How belligerent can they be? You know, I'm not looking for war. I'm really not. But the Dems are pushing for a conflict. And if they come at us, they die. Plain and simple. They come at us, they're going to die. I'm not preaching killing. I'm not preaching death. I'm just stating a fact. This may be took off of YouTube, I don't know. But I'm going to state the fact, and I'm going to stand by that fact. And I'm going to stand by my guns, and they will not pass. They don't want a conflict with patriots. They really don't. And with that, I've got 29 minutes left. I've got somebody back in the backstage there. I'm fixing to bring him in. I knew this was going to be a quick little video on the evils. Well, believe me, I've got some stuff I could bring you about some really evil people, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Dangerous Freedom, my brother. And for the rest of the show, you can talk to us about anything. And DM, I promise you, he'll be on good behavior. So welcome, Dangerous Freedom, my brother, part of the Dangerous Deplorables.
Yeah.
Keep talking because I can't hear you yet.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I'll be on my best behavior.
I wasn't prepared.
But you know what? You brought me in here off the cuff, and I'll tell you what, man, you're sitting there getting me all riled up behind the. I'm like, all right, come on, like I'm like the rabid pit bull. It's like, all right, bring me in, come on, we'll get them, we'll kill them all.
Well, I figured to get you riled up. I was sort of watching you in the backstage there, and you looked like you was moving around a lot.
Yeah, I got a lot of things going on, man. My sister did get her new handgun, though.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
Why don't you tell him what I told her when I handed it to her?
Oh yeah, it was really cool. He bought the gun last week, but he was on a 3-day wait, which we had holidays and weekends in the middle. So it was today before he could get the gun. And she got a really sweet 6 Sauer 9mm. I mean, it's a perfect ladies gun. So anyway, he did a really good job, and he got that for his sister. And she was coming by after work to pick it up. And I was on a stream with him, and when he answered the door and he handed her the gun, and he said, "You are now a member of the militia." And I believe her words were, "I'm prepared." Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what she said? Yeah. I'm prepared. So you see, women can be prepared just like a man can. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you're an American citizen and you don't have a gun, get one. Get a gun. Call it defense. And it is defense. Every gun I have is a defensive weapon.
Thank you, Luciano.
Until somebody turns it into an offensive weapon. And you know what I'm talking about there, Dangerous Freedom. How you can go from a defensive position to an aggressive position.
It might not be 50 Beowulf, but
yeah.
Still reach out there and touch someone.
Oh, Colleen O'Sullivan said you were going to say that you got a new puppy. You didn't know she didn't know you was getting a new gun.
I made a short little video about that.
Yeah, you did. No, he don't need a puppy. He needs about 5 more cats.
No, I need
Oh, I got to tell y'all people this, and I get this. Now, you're going to love this about Dangerous Freedom. He's probably going to hate me for telling you this little story, but this is him.
What are you doing?
All right, so here's what he's done. He's got a 3 or 4 foot king snake that he's had for a while, quite a while. And he's always, he feeds it mice. So he goes and gets a mouse. Evidently, the snake ain't hungry, so the mouse lives about 3 days, and so he takes him out.
More like a week.
Okay, a week. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. He lives. The snake doesn't want to eat him right away. So he takes him out. Now he's got him in his own aquarium, a mouse.
Yep.
And he just can't bring himself to feed it to the snake. He has developed a relationship with this mouse.
No. This guy right here, my son right over here, he's the one. Can't kill it. And then Bobby, and Bobby's the one telling you the story. He's the one that, well, that mouse already went through the gauntlet. He deserves to live. And so now I'm like, well, now I got to feed this damn rodent. So now I got this rodent, and I'm telling you, I've got 5 cats. They just huddle around that cage like, come on. All out. I'm telling you, my cats are just waiting for the day. My snake, I don't know if he's in hibernation or what. He hasn't been hungry for the last 2 months. Yeah, it's kind of a long time for him, but
well, it's wintertime too for him.
Yeah, he's gone longer without eating. But anyway, so yeah, I got this friggin' mouse, and
well, I mean, I figured, what the heck? I mean, you put him in there for 3 days and he didn't eat him. You know, he pretty much ran the gauntlet and he survived.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why not?
We call him Henry.
Well, so you gave him a name, so now he's a pet.
Well, yeah. How long do they last, though?
I don't know, what, 90 days?
Unless you're the Green Mile dude.
Yeah. Well, we're not.
God.
But
God, I don't live that long.
Let's see, Willman 757, 5 cats and a snake, he said. Oh no, it's 5 cats, a dog, and a snake.
Yep, dog and 2 kids.
Yeah, and 2 teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers. Yeah, not even kids. They're teenagers. They're worse than kids. Oh my God. Donna, you probably had teenagers.
Hey, man. Patty. Hey, Benny. Hey, Willman. Gary. Gotta say hey to people. Since we've got nothing to do for the next half hour.
Oh, I could bring up other stories.
Oh, I know you can.
Oh, you got 2 sons. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I've got 3 girls. So
daughters, and they could be like the Jersey Twins or the what's that one show? Freaking, you know which Jersey show I'm talking about, the damn psychopath show that they have on there. You know what I'm talking about too, buddy.
Oh, I do. Why? I don't watch regular TV.
Well, neither do I.
But I know it's not the Stepford Wives, so I don't know what it might be.
You know,
the Real Wives of New Jersey.
Oh, is that what it's called? Oh. I don't know. It's where they had like 6 different couples from New Jersey, and they tried to throw them all into one big unit. And I don't know. I like caught bits and pieces of it, but I was like, that's a freaking disaster waiting to happen. I'm surprised nobody killed each other, to be honest with you. Yeah, Jersey Shore. Thank you, Luciano. Yep, that's exactly the one I was thinking of. I don't watch TV, damn. I quit watching that like ages ago. You know what I'll do now is I do have some local channels that'll post out, you know, like short little minute or 2 clips, you know, about like stuff going on in our neighborhood, like, you know, shootings that happen. Like I'll tell you guys in the chat over New Year's. Okay. Oh God.
Keep talking. I'm trying to do something here.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I'm trying to find this guy right here.
We had these brilliant people that decided that, hey, they're in their backyard.
Now I got to interrupt you right quick.
Uh-oh.
All right, Stony Stone.
Yeah.
You should now have a wrench, my friend. I just added you from my phone.
Oh, hey, you know what? That reminds me. I got to do something really quick here.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
So, Stony, you should have a wrench. I just added you as a moderator. If it didn't take, I'll do it again. But yeah, we love Stony Stone. He's a dear friend. He lives up in Illinois, and I'll tell you, this guy's got some Man, he's got contacts, and
Okay, hey,
I only wished I had.
here, you know
Nice
what?
Armory, Big Jim. How you doing, brother?
What is going on, brother?
Glad you made it for a minute. We're just trying to hang out for a little while. You know how that goes, Jim. We're just hanging out like you do at work. I had a short video tonight, so I brought my brother Dangerous Freedom in here, and we're just passing some time.
Okay,
So go ahead.
While you're handing out wrenches, do you see dangerous deplorables in there?
I do. I'll have to go back to my phone, but yeah, I can.
Yeah. Well, you know, we were talking about this.
Oh, I was going to. Okay, well, I'll give you a wrench too. How about that?
Well, that's kind of weird because it is our channel.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know where I'm going to find you. Oh, there it is, right there. All right, we are a moderator to our own channel. Got it.
Oh, cool, sweet.
So, see, now we're learning as we go, people.
Yeah,
I am not tech savvy.
Hello.
Oh, but I want to remind y'all about Wednesday night. Man, tactical technician.
Oh yeah,
is an awesome guy. If you haven't seen his videos, go check him out. Man, he's got some great gun videos. This man he's got a whole plan. It's like a teacher's plan. He's got it all laid out what he's going to do over the next weeks. Every week, what he's going to do every few days, what kind of video he's going to make. And he's going to do survival videos. He's going to do how to make a shelter. He's going to teach you about your weapons. He's going to teach you about the long guns and the carbines and the pistols. So check this guy out. He's a fantastic guy. He's become a great friend. But he'll be with us Wednesday night. And he also has another name inside his channel, which is Major Mayhem. So either name will work. Go check him out, Tactical Technician. He's a super guy. And we want to get him some subscribers, and we want to help him grow a little bit. But more than that, we want to participate in all that he's doing because he's bringing some great stuff.
Yep. And he's along the same lines as us. You know, he's more of the preparedness aspect. You know, a lot of people call themselves preppers. Others call themselves survivalists. But when you get right down to it, you can really, like, they're interlinked. I mean, you know, we just want to survive. You know, and the smart ones, I mean, people like me and Jim and you and God knows how many in our chat are actually preparing to survive what's coming, because even Rome fell.
Oh yeah, they didn't last. Well, what was it? 400 years?
3 or 4?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you know what? We could last longer, but the only way that our country is going to survive this is if we can root out the corruption. Because right now, the ones that are up there, the ones that are trying to tell us how to live and how obey our laws, or else they're not making a whole lot of.
Somebody is going to be behind bars one way or the other,
or hung.
Well, I hope it doesn't go that far, but it could very easily go that far.
Dude, some of these people deserve to be hung. And you know,
I know that, but that's not our call.
Everybody in the chat knows exactly. But if you were tried in a jury of your own,
tried and convicted,
dude, I bet it would be 12 out of 12.
Probably would. But it can't be a witch hunt. We can't just go in there and willy-nilly start, killing demon rats, even though they probably all deserve it. We've got to go about this stuff logically, and realize that we're fighting a war. When this happens, we're literally going to be fighting a war between good and evil. Yeah. And it all depends on the president. It all depends on the military. It depends on the police and the sheriff's departments. It depends on them. It depends on patriots, on how we react and how well the police and other people interact with us. If they alienate us and don't let us in to the circle of defense, then we're going to have to do our own militia thing,
Mm-hmm.
in our own areas.
And a lot of us are preparing for that.
And that could easily happen. That could easily happen. They could wash us out. We patriots who are gun owners and willing to fight, they could wash us out and say, no, stay home, protect your neighborhoods. So then what are you going to say?
Stay home and protect my neighborhood?
Yeah.
Okay. I got no problem with that. I got food. I got provisions. I can make it through quite a few months, to be honest.
And at least you would be performing a service. You'd be serving.
Oh, I would try and I want to do what's best for my community. You know what? And everybody's community is different. Some of you guys might live in one of those crap hole cities to like LA. I'm just throwing that out there. But like I see people walking around asking people simple questions. I mean, I'll watch like Liberty. What's her name? Caitlin Bennett. She'll go out on and just ask people at the beach, hey, what were the original 13 colonies? And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then she'll go to something easier. Come on, I know you all know the questions, what I'm talking about. Just simple questions.
What's the capital of the United States?
Well, yeah.
That's pretty easy.
Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I hope so. That's what I was taught.
Okay, she did ask one question. What states border Washington, D.C.? I know Virginia. Virginia is kind of a given. Is there another state that borders Washington, D.C.?
Oh, sure. You got Delaware, which I don't know if it borders, but it's right there. You got Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Shit. I mean, you got all kinds of places right there north of that. I mean, once you get into the Northeast, it's all pretty much little bitty states. You know, I mean, you can go you can go through 5 of them in 2 hours.
Yeah, and they're cold. And yeah, I mean, we get a lot of seafood through them, which I don't get me wrong. I like seafood. I have no issue.
Well, most of that comes up from the great Northeast.
Delaware.
Then it's flown straight down, so it don't have to filter through those New York harbors. But no, we're lucky that way. The fish we get's really good. We either get it from the Northwest or the Northeast, usually. Unless you're eating those fish like I do from the Gulf. I like mahi and wahoo and things like that. I really like fish. So I don't eat freshwater fish. I could if I was starving, but I don't really care for it.
You don't like trout?
Oh, well, trout is about the only freshwater fish I'll eat. Yeah, but I want it cooked right there on the bank.
Well, I like salmon too, though.
Well, that's the saltwater freshwater. So yeah, it's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
Well, when it comes to the water, it is. I mean, it goes.
If they're good enough.
It's born in freshwater. It swims out to the sea, and it comes back 4 years later, and it dies where it was born.
If it's good enough for a bear, it's good enough for me.
Oh man, have you ever seen those bear pull those things out of the water and rip them up? I mean, that salmon is just as red meat as it is.
They're out there flopping around, and the bears just go, or just.
Yeah. But there again, you got, they're going to die anyway. So, it's for survival of the fittest and supply and demand and action. When you got a big supply, you might as well take advantage of it. And that's what we need to do is we need to get an advantage. As patriots, we need to get an advantage and get ahead of this game. I mean, I know right now, depending on what would happen, there's several places I could go to bug out, but most people don't have a bug out place.
No.
I know you do. And so I think, I hope a tactical technician or you or someone like you talks about that, because we have to have a bug out location.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you never hold up. Well, I mean, okay, my original my original plan is I'm gonna bunker in. If everything shuts off tomorrow, we have an emergency tomorrow. I'm staying at home for at least a week or two. And if things don't start to let off after that, things start getting crazier. I have I have a means of getting somewhere else, and the people up there, we're more prepared than I don't know. We're pretty prepared down here. It would take me a week or two. It would have to be really stressful before I would try and leave the house. But I've got enough. I've got enough preps to where I wouldn't have to leave my house for probably a good month. I mean, 2 weeks to a month. Maybe I'd have to go out to get some water and then come back, and then I'd be set for another, 3 or 4 days, whatever. But other than water, I mean, I'm pretty well set, and we've got security. I mean, yeah, I've got security even where I am now. I just think that if I had to go somewhere else, we would have better security. We would definitely have higher vantage points, and that's what you want. You want the highest vantage point, because if somebody's walking up on you, you want to make sure that you have a clean shot at them before they have a clean shot at you. Kind of like our buddy over in Texas, Jake. Um,
Well, I have to agree with you on that. That's all we can do. We have to protect ourselves.
yeah,
But it's for me. As soon as see, I wished I could say as soon as the power goes out, I'm bugging out, but I can't say that
nope.
because I have an 88-year-old mother that I have to take care of. I mean, I'm not going to leave her here and take the dogs and run.
No.
And matter of fact, I may even just leave the dogs here. But I'm bugging out. I know where, I don't know exactly where I'm going. I got a good idea, but I'm going to the mountains. I'm going straight north, east, and I'm going to go into either the Cherokee Mountains or the Appalachian Mountains, and
Arkansas.
I'll find me a place. No, it's in actually it's in Georgia, South and North Carolina, Virginia. It goes all the way up the East Coast. The Appalachians do. It's called the Appalachian Trail. But there's a lot of caves. There's a lot of places. But it would be a straight bug out. I mean, my tent, what food I could carry, throw everything in the car, drive as far as I can get, and then ditch the car and hit the woods.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I watch a lot of channels, and most of us are on the same thing. If we have another economic decline, I mean, even if we went into, God forbid, we had another depression like we had back in 1929.
Yeah.
We could survive it. It's going to be hard. A lot of people are going to die because most people think that cows are grown in a damn grocery store. People don't understand how things are made, how things work. They don't understand reality.
No, they think that they go to the grocery store and they buy the milk and they think not where it comes from.
Yeah, they wouldn't have the first clue. Whereas me, I'm way past that.
It's the same thing with the food they eat. They don't realize that somewhere somebody's having to raise these animals, take them to the slaughterhouse, have them slaughtered, and sent to your grocery store. I mean, they don't understand that there's a process in all this. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's chicken, it's eggs, it's cows, a pig. It doesn't matter. It's all done the same way. And these people think they just show up in the store. And that's what kills me. It's, hey, Daddy, where's the pork chop come from? Well, it comes from pork. Well, what's pork? Well, pork is a pig, son.
Yeah,
oh, we eat pigs? Well, not really, son. We eat pork. You see,
Why don't you just take them out and show them the slaughterhouse, and show them how we actually make pork. I mean, well, actually to really make pork, you have to be a rancher. You have to raise them up from the ground. You have to teach them. You have to raise your kids around them and say, okay, you can name them, but if you're gonna name them like
now you're talking about
name
raising
that
one
with
or two
snack
pigs. Yeah, my
name
grandma and grandpa, they raised pigs every now and then to slaughter, and every
well,
now and then they had to get a calf and raise up and slaughter it. That's
hey,
what you're talking about.
yeah,
I worked on a pig farm in Kansas that farrowed 250 sows at a time.
wow,
I mean, we'd have 1,000 babies, that we were having to grow up to about 40 pounds and sell them as feeder pigs at market.
uh-huh.
This was out in the middle of Kansas. I'm talking 50 degrees below zero wind chill. It was cold. And then in the summer, it was killer hot. But these pigs had to have what they had. And we'd grow them up to 40 pounds, send them to market. And they'd go straight from market to the slaughterhouse. But I never made friends with one of them, not a damn one. I never did. No, never made friends with the mothers either because they were all pretty mean.
Yeah. I'm pretty mean.
They were pretty mean.
Were they as mean as the males? The ones that
They could be because
I was
you got
gonna
it
say
because you put them in a pen to where they can't move. They're laying down with their feet in front of them and behind them, and they pretty much can't even stand up. All they're there for is to feed the babies, And then when the babies get old enough to come off the tit, then you start feeding them, and then you send them to market. But see, that's right, Fred and all. Bacon. I remember, this is a cute little story. We've got 3 minutes left. I want to tell you this. I lived in Blue Rapids, Kansas, back in the late 70s. And I'll be honest with you, this was a quaint little town. It even had a hitching post outside the local bar for you to tie your horse to. And I lived there. I loved the people. I loved it. That's when I worked with pigs. I also worked on a dairy farm. I lived out in the middle of a wildlife refuge. I lived like a frontiersman and loved it. But I want you to know that there are places in America that are still America.
Mm-hmm.
The heartland of America that you never see. That there's people just like Dangerous Freedom and myself and everybody in the chat. We all have to remember that we are all Americans, but we have to be observant enough to know where the divide comes.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be prepared and ready when that division comes to stand firm against it and not to weaken and feel sorry for the other side. We can pray for them all you want to. You can even pity them, but don't befriend them. Once that line is drawn, separate, have nothing else to do with those kind of people, because those are the people that are going to take away your rights. They're going to take away everything in this country that we love. Even though they may be your family and friends.
Sometimes.
And people don't want to hear that. But that's what I'm here for. And we're winding down. Ron, I want to thank you for coming in on the second half of the show. We might as well just start doing this stuff together all the time, because I tell you, I enjoy it. And we seem to have people that like it too. So
I have to go back to work, but you know what? If I'm not working, yeah, I'll come on with you.
Oh, I know that. And I know you're off on Fridays most of the time. So that's why we do our Friday show at 3 p.m., y'all. And then I'll see y'all Sunday morning at 11 a.m. and Eastern time. And we're going to get back in the book of Genesis. And we're going to try to get out of there. Dangerous Freedom brought it to my attention. Maybe when I finish the book of Genesis, I'll jump over to the New Testament and we'll do a chapter there. And then we'll jump back to Genesis and back and forth. And that way we'll cover more of the Bible together.
Make a video about it and see how the audience responds.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll see all over American Joe's.
Yep. Go see Joe right now. We're out of here. Love y'all. God
Take
bless.
care.